A Grand Rapids neighborhood is on edge tonight after what police are calling a running gun battle between officers and a man wanted for murder.
That suspect died in the shootout. The police chief says the man shot at officers who then returned fire. You can see here a police cruiser riddled with bullet holes.
Tonight, we have team coverage. Witnesses who live nearby describing running to the basement when the gunfire started. But we begin with Carla Byron with how this all unfolded.
Guys, the police got an anonymous tip through Silent Observer that about Patrick Jones, who was wanted for the murder of Tamika Wright. She was shot and killed in Grand Rapids in early October. After receiving an anonymous tip, a fugitive task force team was sent to the area of Jefferson and LaBelle, where they encountered 30-year-old Patrick Jones, wanted for the murder of Tamika Wright. Chief Winstrom says Jones then began to shoot at the officers.
It was sort of a running gun battle where the individual ran a couple blocks shooting at the officers. We had 3 officers that returned fire.
Winstrom says Jones fell in the area of Cass where he died. It's unclear if he took his own life or if he was hit by officer gunfire. None of the officers were hurt.
When the officers encountered him, they encountered him in the alley, I believe. Yeah, so I think, and this is all preliminary, I believe he had come out of a house that we had information on, and he made note of the officers, and that's when this started.
The chief couldn't say if the home belonged to Jones or any of his relatives or friends.
The officers' squad car was struck numerous times, I saw. And there were so many shots fired by this individual that there's a real chance that there were residences struck as well.
It was a large crime scene, but the chief says it all happened within 3 minutes. A nearby school was put on lockdown so children could be safe and a hostage or barricade situation could be avoided. The chief extremely thankful no officers or anyone in the neighborhood was hurt.
Like I said, this is a residential area, so the potential is there. And like I said, he was a wanted homicide offender, so he already has, we know he's got the lack of respect for human life, so that was a real concern.
And police do have a body cam video of this incident, and it could possibly be released tomorrow afternoon. As far as the investigation, it's now in the hands of Michigan State Police, and the officers involved are on administrative leave. Reporting live in Grand Rapids, Carla Byron, 13 on your side.
Thank you, Carla. And this shooting unfolded in a residential neighborhood next to a school.
13 on your side's Keely Lovern spoke to a neighbor who heard the gunshots. She joins us live now with their story. Keely.
Well, let's start with the school. We know that shortly after the shooting, students at Southeast Career Pathways High School, which is the building you can see just in the distance behind me, the students there were dismissed early, and the school says none of their students were in any danger or harmed in any way, but they did do that early dismissal just out of an abundance of caution. So this was the scene blocked off by police on one side of the incident today at the corner of Garden and Cass Avenues. Family members of Patrick Jones, that man who was killed today, were emotional out here. I spoke to a couple of them. They say he did have troubles for a while and that they were hoping this is not how things would end. They also said they feel horrible for what happened to Tamika Wright, and they of course don't condone his actions. And on the other side of where police had blocked off, as Carla mentioned, this was a pretty big scene today near Jefferson Avenue and the high school. Neighbors right over there tell me that unfortunately there are always problems in this area, and they heard everything today.
I heard gunshots and then I heard sirens. Like, people were telling me the police was shot, people were telling me it was a man shot. So I didn't know what to believe at that point.
It has to start with us as a community to make the places safe for our kids. Because at me being a parent, I don't even want my kids to come outside because of everything that's going on. Yeah. But it starts with us as a community. It does. It starts with us as parents, you know. I know a lot of us work and stuff like that, but it does. I mean, they are trying to make the streets, you know, make it look more nicer, but making it look nice don't start in the streets what's going on.
Students from the high school today were bused to Gerald R. Ford Middle School just down the street to be picked up or taken home. Now, we also did see police and JRPD marshals canvassing the neighborhood, knocking on doors, speaking to neighbors, trying to gather as much information as possible. Reporting live in Grand Rapids, Keely Lovern, 13 on your side.
And we are waiting for police body cam video of today's shooting to be released. And when that happens, we'll bring it to you on our air and online.
And we are on your side with continuing coverage of the investigation on 13onyourside.com, as well as on our streaming platform, 13 Plus, available for free on Roku and Fire TV.